In the vast expanse of human experience, there exists a common thread that binds us all: the insatiable desire for validation. We crave it from our peers, our families, even strangers on the street. We seek those subtle nods of approval, the likes, the shares, the reassuring words that tell us we're doing all right, that we matter. But this belief, this need for external validation, can lead us down a never-ending path, a cycle that repeats itself like a carousel that never stops. It's a hard truth to swallow, but it's a truth nonetheless. Nobody truly cares about us in the way we think they do. Now, don't misunderstand. This isn't a cue for despair, but rather, a call for enlightenment. It's not that people are incapable of love or kindness. It's simply that each of us is the center of our own universe, with our own struggles, our own joys, our own lives to lead. We're all just trying to navigate our own paths, and that's okay. This realization, when it comes, isn't a negative thing. On the contrary, it's a liberation. It frees us from the shackles of expectations, from the constant need to perform for others. It allows us to step back and truly assess our lives, our choices, our dreams. Because when we understand that the world isn't constantly watching and judging, we can finally start living for ourselves. Relying on external validation can hinder our growth and happiness. It's like building a house on a foundation of sand. It might stand for a while, but when the storm comes, it crumbles. True strength, true happiness, comes from within. It comes from knowing who we are, what we stand for, and what we want out of life. It comes from setting our own standards and living up to them, not the ones set by society or the Joneses next door. In this age of digital connectivity, the need for validation from others is reinforced like never before. Social media, with its highlights reel of perfect lives and perfect bodies, has become a breeding ground for insecurity and self-doubt. We compare our behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel, and we fall short. We measure our worth in likes and followers, and we feel empty when the numbers don't add up. But remember, a life spent comparing is a life wasted. It's time to break free. It's time to cultivate inner strength and self-worth. It's time to look within and ask ourselves, what do I want? What makes me happy? What am I truly capable of? Because when we start seeking validation from ourselves, when we start setting our own standards, that's when we truly begin to grow. Comparing ourselves to others can hinder our progress and fulfillment. It's like trying to run a race while constantly looking at the runner next to us. We trip, we stumble, we lose sight of our own path. But when we focus on our own journey, when we embrace our unique strengths and weaknesses, that's when we start making real progress. That's when we start finding true fulfillment. Embracing vulnerability and being honest with ourselves can lead to personal growth. It's not easy, baring our souls, admitting our fears, our insecurities, our mistakes. But it's in these moments of raw honesty that we find our true strength. It's in these moments that we learn, that we grow, that we become more than we ever thought possible. Because, you see, imperfections and mistakes are a natural part of the learning process. They're not signs of failure, but stepping stones to success. They're the scars that show we've lived, we've tried, we've dared. And in the end, isn't that what life is all about? Daring to live, daring to be true to ourselves, daring to be vulnerable, daring to be real. We are worthy and enough. Just as we are. Not when we lose those extra pounds, not when we get that promotion, not when we buy that dream house. But right now, in this moment, with all our imperfections and all our struggles, we are enough. So, let's break free from seeking external validation. Let's stop looking for approval in the eyes of others and start looking within. Let's embrace our vulnerabilities, our imperfections, our mistakes. Let's dare to live, to grow, to be true to ourselves. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what others think of us. It's about what we think of ourselves. It's about knowing that we are enough. Remember, a life spent seeking validation from others is a life half-lived. But a life spent seeking validation from within, that's a life well-lived. That's a life of growth, of happiness, of true fulfillment. So, go forth. Be brave. Be true. Be you. Because you are enough. And you always have been.